So I'll ask you, like, because if you're listening to all of the music that you guys and all your references, and if you're familiar with the rapid fire way that you guys craft records, I would have thought that coming out the womb that you guys were just like music savants that, grew up with the pedigree at the age of one of all this music. So am I to believe that at least for the first 10 years of your life is more like forced learning or Stockholm syndrome? Like,
No, 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 no. So that's an ingrained memory. You asked like my first memory. That's an ingrained. It's not a pleasant one, but it's a memory.
I got it.
But I have an older brother and sister, and this is, early 70s when 45s, 45s. And I was
Right.
and the AM radio, it was a certain time in the radio where it wasn't like this type of music was played on this station, this type was played on this station. The music being made in the early 70s was a little taste of all of this different stuff.
Right.
And the radio kind of reflected that for a minute. And so we had we had a sort of, lesson from the radio for a very brief time. And also growing up in New York City, just walking down the street, you hear so much different music that you're being taught every day.
I would say probably in my mind, you're one of the figures I think of whenever someone's talking about the folklore of what New York City used to be or what New York City was. And most people look, I'm no stranger. Like technically, politics aside, technically now is the best time of my life. However, my most romantic memories of the music of my life was happening in the worst times of my life. So I almost feel like the music was the saving grace of an otherwise dangerous, uh, somewhat landmine filled childhood. If you had a button to control time or mood, would you like the sort of sanitized New York right now, or hands down there was nothing like New York for you back in whatever 81, 82, 83, or whatever? Like in your mind, what is the best version of New York City that we'll never get back?
You can't ask a 58-year-old that question. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't go to clubs. I don't go to parties and shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when I was, in my teens and 20s, I was out all the time having fun, doing this, that, and the other, running around, rooftop parties, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? And now I love my life, but it's a different life. So if you put me at a rooftop party with a bunch of 20-year-olds right now, it's not for me right now. So you know what I mean?
Smart,
Like
smart answer.
in my 20s, yes, I'm at the rooftop party. I got a 40. I'm having the best time. Right now, 50, I have 58. I have a Knicks game on. I got a chicken parmesan, and I'm good. So those are my two happy places.
That's
Wise words.
40 or chicken parm, one or the other. Done and done.
I think for me though, the one thing that I miss more than anything is just, I mean, there was a period in which, like, whatever the equivalent of the best orgasm you ever had, like, music did that to me almost not daily, but weekly. Like, it was a guarantee that 4 to 5 songs were going to be played that just made you like, holy shit, what the fuck is this? Sometimes it's replaced with, someone does something really cool on Instagram and I'm like, oh, that's dope. But, for me, I think I'm more or less asking because music is so central to your life. And I know you're a serious record collector. Do you miss the time of which you were discovering music as opposed to where you are now, which is like a know-it-all uh, expert of music?
Again, ask if any grown up is really. It's a different time of life. Do you know what I mean? I listen to my old records? Not that much. I have them, and I used to listen to them. I don't really listen to them that much. Am I jaded in terms of music and, all types of arts? Like you see a band or a performer and you're like, yeah, I know what that is. I don't really like it. And you don't really give that person a chance because you've heard it 1,000 times or so you think. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah.
And so as you get older, the sad thing is that you end up cutting yourself off to that type of experience. Just what happens.
So are you still open?
No, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I could care less.
He's open to chicken parms.
Yeah,
You know what I
fucking.
mean? Like I could get the Idris Muhammad record right now, and I'm telling you, it'd be just as good, if not better. I could get a Meters record; it would be just as good, if not better than whatever. And that just is
You know what?
that's
You're right.
maybe that's me, but maybe that's 58-year-olds.